No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode, week 4 preview. We're going to run through it before I get ready for work. Before we do that, though, I'd like to ask that you leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps my channel, CTC, by way of the Refuse to Lose Network. We also got shows like The Main Show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. Sports content through there, basketball, football, major topics in sports. We got BWT, baseball with Teddy. Baseball content through Teddy. Tigers took an L last night, 7-1 to the Orioles. Twins actually got a win. So now we're back to a game behind the wild card spot. We got fantasy football with Coach Coombs, NFL and fantasy news through there. We're now entering week 3 of fantasy football. We started week 3 Thursday with the Jets Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson, I know, man, sucks. Jets been giving up major runs to running backs, and now they want to play some run defense. But it is what it is. We have Kings Talk with Joe Jordan, all your Sacramento Kings content through Joe. We have Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sports through Dave's Doghouse. We have In the Red Corner, boxing show featuring boxing show featuring Tomo, Tomo, Ty, and Ricky. So all your boxing content through there. We have RBO, Real Ballers Only, featuring Vaughn. NBA content goes through there. And last but certainly not least, we have Unfazed, featuring JJ and AJ, Joe and AJ, where they just talk about, so far anyway, they've been talking about the NFL week by week on a week by week basis. So that's every Tuesday, by the way. That's like the only show. Well, Unfazed is every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Central. And then y'all know the main show is always 7 o'clock p.m. Is normally Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So those are like the only 2 shows with set times. But please like, comment, share, subscribe, and to those shows as well. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, again, we're going to run through my previews real quick for week 4. Again, 15 games, but it's different. I don't have 5, 5, and 5 this time. I got 3, 12, 1, 12, 45. I think like 4, 5, 3 30s, a 4 and a 5, and the rest is day night. So let's get into it. First game we got for y'all, NC State at Clemson. Again, I didn't want to talk about this game I kind of told you at the end of CTC last episode. The 12 o'clocks I low-key wanted to skip, but I got to talk about some new games. But first, we have NC State at 21st ranked Clemson. Clemson coming into the game, 18.5-point favorites. The game is today at noon on ABC. ACC battle. Clemson, to me anyway, was projected to win the ACC. This is my opinion, only. Some other people, not saying I'm the only guy to project Clemson. I'm just saying this is my opinion from my preseason preview. So that's why I decided to do this one. For NC State, someone other than Casey Concepcion has to step up. Someone other than him has to step up, man. I've been talking about it for a while. He's like the only weapon. Make this a low-scoring game because then you can hang around and have a chance. Put Clemson in third and long situations. They're not a good team either when it comes to offense. Clemson, for the past couple years, has been relying heavily on defense. Stop Phil Maffa because he's probably going to be like one of the more consistent players on this Clemson offense. And you have to get C.J. Bailey going. C.J. Bailey is looking to step in for the injured Grayson McCall. For Clemson, score early to get Death Valley rocking. So if you score a touchdown early, get that home crowd rocking, bodes well for you. Win the time of the possession. That means you're playing your brand of football, running the ball, playing really good defense, getting the ball back. Establish Phil Maffa. Have to make anyone but KC Concepcion beat you and send pressure at CJ Bailey early. Get him rattled. Get him confused. Let's get to his brain a little bit. And my winner for this one is Clemson. So we're gonna move on. Houston at Cincinnati. This game is 12 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. This one actually I think is going to be a good one. But this is also like my third week in a row talking about Cincinnati, but it is what it is. Houston will have to score points. They didn't really score points against Oklahoma. They daggone sure didn't really score points against UNLV. Got to score points against the Cincy team. Donovan Smith has to be effective. I've said it before. I'm kind of off the Donovan Smith train. I was questionable last year about him. I knew a little bit. Was thinking maybe a change of scenery would be better. I kind of fell off the wagon. Contain Corey Kiner, the running back for Cincy. Have to bring the defense that you had. What did I write? Oh, that got to bring the defense that you had against Oklahoma. That's not what I wrote, but it just makes more sense saying it that way. No big plays. Don't allow no big plays. Miami of Ohio kind of lost the game last week because they allowed big plays and they kind of turned the ball over. For Cincinnati, put pressure on Donovan Smith. I think if you put pressure on him, he will throw a pick. Score, because Houston, again, is not a team that puts up major points. So if you put the pressure on them to score, that's when you can force turnovers. Get the ball to Xavier Henderson, to me, the best receiver on the team. Establish Corey Kiner and Evan Pryor, because they were huge for you last year. And force the Donovan Smith interception, because he currently has 3 on the year. I think he only has 2 passing touchdowns, so he has more picks than passing touchdowns. But my winner is going to be Cincy. Next, we got Kansas at West Virginia, 12 o'clock on ESPN2. It's like my third week in a row talking about Kansas too, but I mean, one of those days was a weekday game, and I think the other one was when they were ranked. Kansas, Jalen Daniels has to get over this turnover bug. He's been having a serious turnover bug. I think he has 6 interceptions on the year. Continue feeding Devin Neal. Devin Neal, to me, is I would say Devin Neal is the best player on this offense. Win the turnover battle. They got to stop C.J. Donaldson and Jaheim White, that nasty rushing attack for West Virginia. And they got to contain Garrett Green as well, because he can also get in the mix with his legs. Now, for West Virginia, they have to get over last week. Last week, you were up 10 with like 4 minutes left. I said you melted. I said it looked like I'm not accusing them of anything, but the way it looks like they were trying to give the game away. Got to force Jalen Daniels interception. He has had 2 interceptions in the past. Well, I think actually against Illinois he had 3. I want to say he had 2 to Xavier Scott and 1 to Miles Scott. But he's had multiple interceptions in the past 2 weeks. Contain Jalen Daniels' legs, because even with the interceptions he had against UNLV, his 2 touchdowns came on the ground, and one was from like 33, and I think the other was from 17 yards out. So he can definitely run. You've seen the explosiveness with him running the ball. Make Kansas pass, because then you lead to possibly his first interceptions. And the receivers have to win on the outside against Kobe Bryant and Melo Dotson, two of the best corners in the country. I've been saying it for a while, the best duo in the country. But my winner is going to be West Virginia. Next game is Virginia at Coastal Carolina. Again, I'm running through this stuff real quick, so I got to go to work. Virginia, Anthony Calandria got to stop the turnovers. Oh, you can catch this game at 2 o'clock on ESPN Plus, by the way. Calandria got to stop the turnovers. That was a key last week against Maryland, and for some reason, Maryland must have his number when it comes to turnovers, because they forced multiple turnovers from him last week. Have to stop Coastal Carolina's high-power running game. Make them more of a passing team. So make Ethan Vasco pass. Get the ball to Malachi Fields. I feel like they didn't go away from Malachi Fields. I just feel like Maryland did a really good job not allowing them to go to Malachi as much, if I remember correctly. And then they got to establish Kobe Pace. They got to establish their own rushing game, which, if I remember correctly, they were actually doing a good job at that at first, but then the turnovers happened, and Maryland was able to score because Virginia only got 2 field goals. Maryland took the lead, and I think Virginia started to kind of crumble from there. Um, for Coastal Carolina, score to get the home crowd into it because they are at home and they do love points at that teal turf on that teal field. Forced turnovers. Maryland did it and then put them in a really great position. Put pressure on Anthony Calandria. Win on third down because that's what Coastal's going to do. They're going to move the ball. They're going to move the chains. They're going to get in a bunch of third down situations. They just got to convert and stay ahead of the chains because when you're a running team, you got to stay ahead of the chains in order to have an efficient offense. But I think UVA wins for some. Like I said, for some reason, Maryland just got UVA number when it comes to interceptions, turnovers, Calandria at the very least. Anyway, I don't see Calandria doing the same thing twice. Now, could I be wrong? Yes. And Malachi Fields only had 4 catches for 36 yards. So I was right in my remembrance of that game. Next, we have USC, Southern California versus Michigan. 11th ranked USC, at 18th ranked Michigan. Kind of overrated, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. They are at Michigan. This game is 3:30 on CBS. USC is 4.5-point favorites. But for USC, Miller Moss has to continue to be good, continue to play well. He's been playing phenomenally throughout the year. He's picked up where he left off in the bowl game. Make Michigan pass the ball. Davis Warren had 6 interceptions so far to the date, and that's why he got benched for Alex Orji. Let's see what Alex Orji can do. Can he throw the ball? Is he just a runner? Is he really a dual threat guy? Contain Alex Orji legs. Again, let's make him a passer. Stop Donovan Edwards and Khalil Mullins. If you could contain those 2 guys, forces them to pass, and then establish Woody Marks. I felt like Woody Marks going to USC was very underrated. That was a really good pickup by them. Now for Michigan has to be better passing the ball. I've been talking about that nauseam. They got to be better passing the ball. They are not good. Put pressure on Miller Moss. They got to. Miller Moss has been looking good. He's been able to do whatever he wants for real on the field. Have to be better passing to establish a run. I feel like the run game does suffer because they can't pass the ball. So now teams aren't scared for them to run the ball either. They'll actually probably load the box, daring you to pass, and get Colston and Loveland involved as well. Now, it did kind of hurt him against Texas. He did catch the ball, but he did fumble. But, he was like the only consistent weapon. He has to continue to stay involved. And they need some splash plays. We've seen before USC is susceptible to splash plays. And Michigan's going to need them to not only score, but to get the home crowd involved as well. But my winner is going to be USC. Now, this is a flip from my preseason prediction, but USC has been looking well. Michigan offense has been looking worse than I expected. Quarterback play has been bad, so I'm going to go USC. Next, we have UCLA at LSU. 3:30 on ABC. UCLA has to find a way to get some offense going. Even like I said with Eric Bieniemy at OC, this offense is bad. Win the field position battle because you're probably not going to get much offense, so you got to be able to flip the field and get stops. Have to stop Kyron Lacey and CJ Daniels. There's other guys as well. Anthony. No, it's not Anthony Anderson. I think it is Anthony Anderson. Matter of fact, the wide receiver number 1, and then Xavier Thomas number 0. Is it Anthony? I always forget. It might not be. I'm going to come back to you. Sorry about that, Anderson. Be prepared to tackle Caden Durham, the true freshman running back who came in and just ran super hard for the LSU Tigers against South Carolina. Win on third down because to build consistent offense, you got to move the chains and you got to get off the field too. And UCLA is really good on defense anyway. And now for LSU, I put score, and the reason why is because the UCLA offense has not shown me anything. Get Caden Durham more playing time. Get him more carries, man. He ran super hard for LSU last week. Contain TJ Harden. He's like their best weapon. Yes, they have 2 guys on the outside, and Jermichael Studevant and Rico Flores Jr., but it just seems like Ethan Garbers really can't get them the ball. Get UCLA behind the chains. And that's self-explanatory. And they got to consistently block this front four up front. Keep Garrett and Nussmeier upright. Establish some rushing lanes for these running backs. And my winner is LSU, man. My winner is LSU. And that receiver, is it Anthony? It is Aaron. There you go, Aaron Anderson. My fault, Aaron. Next game, Georgia Tech at Louisville. Louisville comes into the country, to this game ranked 19th at home. This game is 3:30 on ESPN. They come in as 10.5-point favorites. Now for Georgia Tech, it's a close game last year. Turnovers killed them, so they got to win the turnover battle this year. Haynes King continued to use your legs. He broke 2 long runs against Syracuse. We all know how explosive he is with the ball in his hand. Excuse me, Haynes King, no untimely turnovers. Y'all know how I feel about Haynes King with that. Get the ball to Eric Singleton and Malik Rutherford. Defense has to get off the field against Syracuse, one of their bigger games this year. They cannot get off the field at all on third down. Louisville forced the Haynes King untimely turnover. Have to stop the run. Georgia Tech is largely based on the run. Tyler Shuck got to continue to take care of the football. I believe Tyler Shuck has no interceptions throughout week 4, or as we currently speak today. I think Tyler Shuck has no interceptions. That streak has to continue through today. Tyler Shuck has to spread the ball around. I believe a large part of their offense is Ja'Cory Brooks in the passing game. I think Ja'Cory Brooks is like leading the team in receiver by a large margin. And convert on third downs, because again, that was a major flaw of the Georgia Tech defense against Syracuse, who's been their last at least good opponent. My winner is Louisville being at home, but I do lean taking Georgia Tech plus 10.5. Next game, now I debated previewing this one. Arizona State at Texas Tech, 3:30 on Fox Sports 1. But both teams, well, not both teams, excuse me, Arizona State being 3-0, Texas Tech being 2-1 at home, I decided to do it. Arizona State, Cam Scatterbo has to be established. Last week, Texas State did a really good job taking Cam Scatterbo out the game, but he did what he was supposed to do. He ran the ball hard, got 1-2 yards of pop. Sometimes he would break one, but at the end of the game, you could tell he wore down on that defense and broke long runs to maintain the clock-killing drive. So shout out to him. Sam Levitt has to use his legs. Man, he was so tough to stop once you get him outside the pocket. Have to stop Taj Brooks, who's going to be the main guy for Texas Tech. He was the main guy from last year. Forced a Baron Morton interception. I believe he has maybe 2, if not any, interceptions on the year. He has 2. He has 2 interceptions on the year, 10 touchdowns and 2 picks. So remember him and Josh Hoover were my guys, that they were young, but if they could not turn the ball over, I'd be in on them. Josh Hoover, I believe, has 0 interceptions throughout the season, or maybe he threw his first one against UCF. Baron Morton only has 2, so they've been doing a really good job protecting his ball. Nope, Josh Hoover still has no interceptions. And they got to get the ball to Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson was a major key in that win against Texas State. Now for Texas Tech, contain Sam Levitt. Cannot let him get outside that pocket. Contain Cam Scatterbo. Got to have a game like he had last week, but the difference is you can't allow him to break big runs late. And I think going against Taj Brooks in practice and stuff like that, they're used to that. Run Taj Brooks obviously is going to be a major key for the Texas Tech offense. Force Arizona State in the third and long. Now, Texas State was doing that last week, and Arizona State was just able to convert. I don't think they convert as much against Texas Tech in those situations, and they got to win the turnover battle. Texas Tech has to win over the turnover battle, force some interceptions, keep the ball on the ground, don't fumble, things like that. I'm calling my shot here, though. I like what Kenny Dillingham has built at Arizona State so far. I'm going with Arizona State to beat Texas Tech on the road. I went with Texas State last week. Arizona State was able to come back and win that game. I don't think Texas Tech offense is as potent as Texas State's. I think they are more physical than Texas State, even though Texas State is a physical team. But I think they'll be able to impose their will a little bit more. But I think Arizona State is going to come out, and they're going to be flying. On the road, offense is going to be flying. I'm going to take Arizona State to win this game here. Calling my shot, man. Next, Utah at Oklahoma State, and 12th ranked Utah, at 14th ranked Oklahoma State, top 15 battle. 4 o'clock on Fox. 4, Utah. Cam Rising is back, and I keep telling y'all, man, when Cam Rising plays, Utah goes from here to here. Cam Rising is back, so that's a key right there. Was looking to be back. I've seen reports from saying He's looking to be good to he's for sure playing. So he looks like he's playing. Have to stop Ollie Gordon, and it's Utah got the front seven for it. Make Allen Bowman beat you. Arkansas did that 2 weeks ago and almost worked out, but they kind of had self-inflicted wounds that allowed Oklahoma State back in the game. Keep Oklahoma State behind the chains, and then Cam Rising can he finish the game? You got to stay healthy enough to finish the game. Now Oklahoma State, they got to find ways to get Ollie Gordon running lane so he can do what he do best. Get hits on Cam Rising. Let's see how that hand really feels. Let's hit him a little bit, see how it feels. Contain Michael Bernard, stay ahead of the chains, and take care of the football. With that being said, my winner of today is going to be Utah and Cam Rising. That's the reason why I picked them to win. Cam Rising back. That's the reason why. Next game I got for you is TCU at SMU. 5 o'clock on the CW network. CW had a little bit of flaws yesterday with production and the crazy Washington State San Jose State game last night, but it was all in all a decent experience. But for TCU, got to contain Kevin Jennings' legs. Kevin Jennings is now the starter for SMU officially. Josh Hoover, he got to continue to take care of this ball, man. He's been looking great this year, no interceptions, and he's been slinging the pill. Let Cam cook. Let Cam cook, man. Feed Savion Williams. Savion Williams is looking like their best receiver. I know Jack Beck had that 200-yard game last week, but Savion Williams is looking to be that guy, the best receiver. You still can't forget about Beck and J.P. Richardson especially, but feed Savion Williams. And they got to get physical, man. Get physical at SMU. I said it a bunch. I don't know if I said it on CTC yet, but I said it a bunch in the chats. If you get physical at SMU, it looks like they don't know what to do. It just does. Like they got no answer for it. Now for SMU, Kevin Jennings is now the starter, so we got to embrace it. I mean, he got them the AAC championship last year, so got to feed Brashard Smith, the converted receiver, on the ground. Force Josh Hoover's first interception. They got to get physical, man. Some of them got to get physical. Again, I just explained why. And they got to get off the field on third down because TCU does a really good job of converting. But my winner's going to be TCU, man. TCU look awesome this year. TCU honestly should still be undefeated. Lost a close one to UCF. They kind of blew it. They started settling for field goals late. UCF started to get down the field, get some big plays, and ended up taking the game, stealing the game at home. But I think TCU, I know in the offseason I said this year SMU finally beats TCU. I don't see it. TCU looked wonderful. SMU actually been disappointing. So I'm going with TCU. Next, we have 8th ranked Miami at South Florida, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Miami comes into the game with 16.5-point favorites. For Miami, Cam Ward has to continue to play well. He's been looking phenomenal. But yeah, I know what I say about Cam Ward. I love Cam Ward. I was one of the first guys heavily on Cam Ward. He balls out during the beginning of the year. And then towards the middle of the year, it kind of tapers off. And then towards the end, he'll pick it back up. Don't need that taper off. He has to continue to play well. Establish Damian Martinez. Stop the USF run. They love to run the ball a lot. Contain Byron Brown, who's a guy who can run. He's a big quarterback who can run. Get the ball to Xavier Restrepo in open space. I'm going to continue to say that. Now for South Florida, they got to make open field tackles. Last point from Miami kind of explains that, but you got to make open field tackles, period. Establish a run. Win the time of possession, because when you run the ball, you win the time of possession. It puts pressure on other teams. Put pressure on Cam Ward and contain Cam Ward in that pocket. But with that being said, my winner is going to be the University of Miami on the road this week. Next, we have Tennessee at 6th ranked Tennessee at 15th ranked Oklahoma, 7:30 on ABC. Tennessee, Nico has to continue to play well. He's been playing well. Now, the only thing I will say, he did have a couple slip-ups against NC State, which was one of their better teams that they have faced. But he has been playing well. No young guy turnovers. I think he had like one of those against NC State as well. But he's young. I think he's a redshirt freshman. Yeah, he's a redshirt freshman. So, but we can't have those. This is a big game on the road, top 15 matchup. Can't have that this week. And against a team that actually has some offense. NC State does not. Contain Jackson Arnold's legs. Establish Dylan Sampson. And they need splash plays, and I put in parentheses Squirrel White because that's the guy that they use to try to stretch the field. But they need some splash plays in this game. Now, if you're Oklahoma, get Deion Burks the ball. I still believe he leads Oklahoma in receiving touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking right now. That's Russian. Yeah, you still leads him at 3. Get the ball to him. Contain Nico on the ground because Nico is a problem when he breaks the line of scrimmage. He's a problem. Jackson Arnold has the run when available. Y'all remember last week he broke like that long 24-yard run for a touchdown against Tulane. They got to establish a run on their own, even outside of Jackson Arnold, just a turnaround handoff run. And they got to pressure Nico, force that young guy turnover. I said that he can't make. My winner is Tennessee. I think Tennessee is really good this year, man. I think Nico has Tennessee playing on another level. They have a really strong defense. I think Nico on this team is going to be a little too much for Oklahoma at home. I think it's close, but I think Tennessee edges it out. Next, we got the red bandana game, man. We got Michigan State at Boston College. Boston College comes into the game 6.5-point favorites. This game is tonight on ACC Network at 8 o'clock. If you're at Michigan State, Aiden Childs has to stop the silly turnovers, man. He almost had one last week. I think he got called back. He almost threw a pick against Prairie View A&M. So he got to stop the silly turnovers. I'm getting sick of it. Nick Marsh and Jerron Glover are confirmed not playing this week. So that's a huge blow to the receiving core. Somebody other than the Montorie Foster has to step up. Can we get the ball to more to Jack Veerling? Somebody got to step up, man. Big runs. We need some big runs from K'Ron Lynch-Adams. K'Ron Lynch-Adams has been our big play running back so far. Yeah, Nate Carter got some big runs too, but consistently it's been K'Ron Lynch-Adams. Have to stop the run because that is what largely Boston College is based on. And you got to force Boston College. Have to contain Thomas Castellanos' legs because that's where he does a lot of his damage on the ground. You get him in open space, it is tough. And plus, if you remember the FAU game, we struggled in stopping the run, and that's because they had a running quarterback, Cam Fancher. Now, against Maryland, we were better against the run, but Billy Edwards isn't really a runner. Can he run? Yes. Is he really a runner? No. Thomas Castellanos is a runner. Boston College. Force MSU into passing situations because Aiden Childs will get to doing some silly stuff. Contain Aiden Childs. Enough said. Thomas Castellanos has to run, large part of the offense. Get the ball to Louis Bond, who is Thomas Castellanos' favorite target on the as a wide receiver, and force MSU into pass. Did I write the same thing twice? I did. Oh my god, I ain't even peeped it just now. I wrote my first and my last key, the same thing. Another key for Boston College, I would say, is know where Montorie Foster is, and let's see, make somebody other than Montorie Foster beat you on the receiving end. Montorie Foster is like the only, I would say, big name guy available, again, being that Jerron Glover and Nick Marsh is out. But my winners are going to be Boston College. And I kind of explained it already. Boston College is the winner, in my opinion, because they're heavily based on the run with a dangerous running quarterback in Thomas Castellanos. FAU gave us issues with that. I think Boston College will severely give us issues. It's the red bandana game. A lot of emotions. They're going to come out, give us their best punch. I think we keep it close, but I think it's tough. And I can't say that Aiden Childs won't throw the silly interception, maybe even 2. So I'm rolling with Boston College. I'm sorry. I got to be unbiased on my show, man. This is not Spartan Talk with Carl. This is college talk. Carl talking college. And I got to be unbiased, man. I think those injuries harm us. I think Nick Marsh and Jerron Glover not playing is huge. We move on to Baylor at Colorado. Colorado 1.5-point favorites. This game is 8 o'clock on Fox. Now, Baylor has to put pressure on Shedeur Sanders. If you remember the Nebraska game, pressure on Shedeur, he got sacked 6 times. Daquan Fenton has to use his legs. He's a door threat guy for Baylor. Got to use the legs. Avoid Travis Hunter when Baylor is on offense. So, I mean, I ain't going to say don't throw his way at all, but, it is kind of locked over there. Know where Travis Hunter is at all times on the defensive end. So when Colorado has the ball. Baylor has to know where he is at all times because he is able to break a play in a heartbeat. You give him a 5-10 yard stop, and he can take it to the crib instantly. Slant, take it to the crib. Y'all get what I'm saying. And you got to shut down the Colorado run game. Last week, Colorado was able to establish a run game, and it boded well for them against Colorado State. Colorado has to be able to establish the run. Everybody knows, man, Colorado can't run the ball. But they were able to last week. Got to be able to do it again this week. Keep Shedeur upright. Self-explanatory. Force Baylor into 3rd and longs. I do think Baylor, if you get them in 3rd and longs, they're not going to consistently convert. Contain Rashad Reese, the running back for Baylor, and stay ahead of the chains. Try to stay ahead of schedule, man. I know they like to sling the ball around, so you can afford to be behind the chains, but you don't want to be behind the chains, especially if you're going to have to use the passing game as an extended running game. But with that being said, I debated back and forth a ton about this one. I ended up going with Colorado because they're at home. I ended up going with Colorado because Baylor offense is just lacks some consistency. So I just ended up going with Colorado. But this is a tough game to pick. So gambling-wise, I stay away. And my last game I have for y'all before this beautiful Saturday morning of college football starts in about 4.5 hours. K-State, 13th ranked K-State at BYU University, 10:30. I don't know why I said BYU University. Brigham Young University, BYU, 10:30 on ESPN. Now, K-State has to play physical because BYU is going to come out, play physical. Defense is going to be physical. They're going to try to punch K-State in the mouth. Got to be able to take that punch and throw a punch back. Avery Johnson can't afford the young guy moment. If you remember last week, you know what I'm talking about. The had points, but ran the clock out. Can't afford to have a moment like that again. I would say get the ball to DJ Giddens. I wrote Ryan, but get the ball to DJ Giddens. Get it to him in the ground, through the air. I don't care how you get it reverse. I don't care how you get the ball. Get him moving in different positions. And yes, I know he's running back. So when I say reverse, you can have running empty, put your running back outside, and bring him in on it like an end around or something. But I digress. Get him the ball. Win the turnover battle. And this one is a question. Is Jace Brown really the number one guy? I heard on the broadcast they feel like he is. They want him to. He is the leading receiver currently. But is he really the guy? I don't know, man. It's been a while since K-State had a guy. BYU, Jack Reslap has to take care of the ball. He has to take care of the football, man. No crazy moments. Contain Avery Johnson. Don't let him outside the pocket. When Avery Johnson gets outside the pocket, it is dangerous for teams. Contain DJ Giddens. Establish a run game. What is his brand name? Is it LJ? Is it LJ Sanders? I know the running back got hurt against SMU, and I'm blanking on his name. I want to say it's LJ. It's not LJ Smith. I want to say it's LJ Sanders, but it could be LJ Smith. Go back. Why am I blanking on this dude's name? I'm so mad I'm blanking on Brian's name. He's actually nice too. LJ Martin. That's what it is. LJ Martin. LJ Martin got hurt against SMU. So these other guys have to step up. And they got to get the ball to Chase Roberts. I mean, they got other guys too, but I think you got to get the ball to Chase Roberts. Chase Roberts is your best receiver. But with that being said, I think the game is close, but I think K-State edges it out. I think K-State is a really good team this year. They can match the physicality of BYU. I think they win it on the road. Close game, but they win it nonetheless. And that is it for CTC. Like I said, man, y'all enjoy these college football games. I want to so badly, but I got to go to work, man. Gotta go to work. It is what it is. I mean, shoot, if they want to call me and say, hey, man, if you want to come in today, I'll take it in so fast. Yeah, don't worry about me coming in today. But it is what it is. I will be back. I'm not going to tell you a day I'm going to be back because I can't even guarantee you I'll be back tomorrow. Can't guarantee that. And I actually like the Tuesday I've been doing. I did Wednesday this week, but I actually like the weekday coming back thing. But I'm going to have to stop that eventually because action and Conference USA is going to start on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in a short bit. But until next time I go live, man, enjoy the shows. Ravens got a big game this week against the Cowboys. Cannot afford to go 0-3, but I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe, and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.